So today we'll be transplanting sweet pepper, jalapenos, and lettuce inside the structure. The structure comes with a double door unit. It's important to manage this. This is your protection. And so what you want to do is only one door can be open at any given time. So we'll open this first door, 2 or 3 persons could go in. We close that, they go into the other side, and we keep that going until we get everybody inside.
You know why they do that, right? You know why they do that? Because the insects, they transmit diseases to the plants. Right? So you open the door, the insects are going in here, but they know why they're there. Right?
So if I go in here and a butterfly happens to follow me, I have enough time to go back out and remove it, and then I go back in again. So it's very important for you guys to manage this. So we could start with the first 3 or 4 persons. Jalapeno is selling for about $4.50 a pound right now, and so again, it's a good economic crop. It's a good economic unit in terms of the structure. The irrigation system is in. As you could see, the water is dripping. It's ready to plant. So he has all that he needs to plant it. So what I want you to do is just hold it this way. Just hold right here. Hold right there. Take this hand and just take the plant out like that. See? The team is now transplanting the lettuce. Lettuce is a short-term crop. It's only 35 days to maturity, and the spacing is very minimal. It's only a foot apart, and so because of that, they're able to stack significant amount of plants inside the beds. You will have jalapenos on one bed, which they should be able to generate some income from. Sweet peppers on one side, which they also should be able to generate some income from. The lettuce in the middle, the objective for that is to capture the attention quickly, because in 35 days they should be able to harvest. So we're not taking that risk of losing their attention, giving them a short term as well as a medium term crop as well. In terms of planting, there's a number of planting patterns. Spacing is very critical. It determines the amount of space that the plant has to develop. In this case, we're using a triangular planting pattern. So if you look at the spacing here, there's about 2 foot, 24 inches between each plant, but we're not doing it in a square or rectangular format. The plants are offset. So this plant will consume this space, this plant will consume the space that is free, and so you keep going in a triangular pattern up the bed. In terms of irrigation, the rule of thumb is that if you take an amount of soil in your hands and you hold it and it crumbles, it means the bed is in need of irrigation. But if you're able to do this and the soil holds, then the plant has sufficient enough water for it to survive.
The most essential nutrients that a plant needs to grow is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. You can get these nutrients by buying fertilizers from stores. For example, you have soluble fertilizers now that are in the market that you can mix along with water and apply to your plants. General use fertilizer for our gardener that we recommend would be a 19-19, 19% nitrogen, 19% phosphorus, and 19% potassium. In this case, you can add them while you're watering your plants because this fertilizer is soluble. You can prepare this by getting approximately a spoon, and you can add to a gallon of water, and you can mix it early in the morning so that nutrients are available for the plant during the day. So you're not only watering and providing water to the plants, but you're also adding nutrients at the same time. So it is recommended that you apply this maybe 2 or 3 times for the week when you apply water. Trellising or plant support is needed for certain plants while they are growing. For example, tomatoes or sweet peppers. In this case, we have a trellising system using sticks and string. You can see that we have a row of sweet peppers and at the same time a row of sticks being placed at every 5 feet between them. And we use a string to tie from one end to the next end. And as how we're putting the string, we want the plants, in this case the sweet pepper plants, to stay right in the middle as they grow. So as the plant is growing, you continue adding more string on both sides so that the plant could support itself. This is also very helpful at the time of fruiting because the weight of the fruits can break the branches of stem. So the trellising also helps to minimize this problem. Once you finish at the end, then we would tie with a very good knot so that the string has a very good tension. You do the same all over again on the other side of the plant, from one end to the next end of the row of the bed. You will notice that the plants are now between the two strings. You will do this as how the plant is growing. You can add strings at every feet. In this case, we started around 5-6 inches from the ground. And like I said, you will continue doing this depending on how fast the plant is growing. So it could be on a weekly basis or every 2 weeks. This type of trellis now is what they call the Dutch system. It's a vertical system, as you can see. It's using one single string per plant, and it starts from the bottom. It depends how fast the plant is growing. You take your time and you continue to wrap that stem as how the plant is growing. In this case, we are using what we call a tomato clip. You can get this also at your agro store. We use this because it ties the plant loosely and it has enough space for the stem to grow and wouldn't hurt the plant. And then from there, like you can see, the string is wrapped around the stem. So it supports the plant to grow upward. And like I mentioned, this type of tomato, we will only let one stem grow, and basically the flowers and fruits will be coming out of one stem only, rather than as the bushy type tomato that usually the gardeners grow. It's a different kind of trellising, no? It's more bushy, so you can use the horizontal trellis system that we showed over by the sweet pepper plot. In tomatoes, you can do 3 different types of pruning. Pruning meaning removal of leaves, stems, or fruits. In this case, for example, tomatoes, at this stage of the plant, you can start doing some removal of leaves. Why? Because the older leaves are the first ones to get sick. They also harbor insects, and they also take a lot of nutrients that basically the plant needs at the top for it to grow. So these are not really needed, but the leaves at the top are the most important ones. So what we recommend is that as the plant is growing, you can remove 1 or 2 leaves depending on the amount of leaves that you have, so that you have that stem as clean as possible. And also it helps to circulate air between plants, reducing the incidence of fungus and bacteria. We only leave one single stem, right, grow upward. When the plant is maybe taller than us, then we start to lower the plant. It will basically grow sideways. This row will grow this way, and that other row will grow this way. And it basically, the using of the tomato hooks, we use those to give it more string and lower the plant. So it goes like an L. So the root could be here, the stem could be here, and then you could find the growing point up to this area here, growing like an L. So all the plants will be moving this way and the other moving that other way. So it starts to, after a couple of months, you start to see like a circle within the bed. This type of tomato, indeterminate, meaning that it has continuous growth. It's not like the determinate, the bushy type tomatoes that we usually grow out in the open field. This tomato will continue growing once you give it the proper management and it's healthy. It will continuously grow and produce. You will have a bunch of fruits maybe at every 12 inches, continuously growing. You can harvest on a weekly basis for, like I said, 7 to 9 months.